So during this video, I'm going to be explaining how to create a Web 2.0. And first of all, I'll talk about what a Web 2.0 is. A Web 2.0 is basically any type of medium that kind of acts like a website, looks like a website, but is not a direct website by itself. We're essentially going to create these things in order to create um, blogs that we will use to rank our clients' Google My Business listings or Google Map listings. As we both know, having these blogs in place and having them with a decent amount of DA, trust flow, and most importantly, relevance, talking about whatever service our client is doing, pointing back to their Google My Business page is going to give us an edge over their competition because most of their competitors don't even have their competitors that do have SEO people, Google Map people, whatever you want to call them. They don't know half of this stuff. Believe me when I tell it to you. If they did, Google Maps would be very difficult to rank in. It's not. It's actually getting even easier to rank in Google Maps. So, first of which I will show you what a Web 2.0 looks like. I will just use this as an example. So you've seen these all the time, like you see them everywhere. But basically, it's just basically like a miniature website within a content providing management system that you essentially can use to link back relevant information to your client site. So let me get into the mods tool really quick. One sec. Okay. All right, cool. So now we got the mods tool. We can actually look at some of the information on here. All right, there we go. It took a little bit of time. But basically, as you can see with this has a page authority of 1 and a DA of 1. So as you can tell, there's pretty much no links being built to this page, but that's just because this is something I've had built a couple of months ago. I haven't really done anything with it yet, but um, now that I'm pretty much in the lawyer niche now, um, this is a really good asset to essentially have. Now, within this context, um, we're essentially going to have a couple of options. Now, with a Web 2.0, you always want to make sure that you build out this thing for the relevance of the client. And when you create one, you structure around a keyword. Now, not before I go too heavily into this, with these Web 2.0s, you see that I've changed the keyword every single time. So I'll essentially go through and develop a keyword list of just basic broad keywords that are relevant to, in this context, an attorney. So in your context, it really could be anything. It could be a plumber, it could be a commercial painter. You basically want to go through and just find the broad basic terms that have a whole lot of search volume, and find up to 5 to 10. That way you can create a bunch of different Web 2.0 centered around that keyword. That way when that keyword links back either to the client's website or to their GMB page, now that client's website is essentially, that client's website is essentially going to be able to pick up and get ranked for that keyword. And I'm going to pull up example of another one that's built out pretty solidly. Okay. So kind of getting back to this, these are some Web 2.0s that are built out by a colleague of mine. And you can see which each one of these, I was trying to essentially get ranked for all these different keywords. And you can see each one of these Web 2.0s does not have the same keyword in it every single time. This one has SEO expert near me, SEO company near me, digital marketing company, SEO company near us, SEO agency near us, SEO company near me, SEO company services. So you can see each one of these has a different keyword. So when it links back to my Google My Business, Google is essentially going to be able to recognize my Google My Business not only for that one keyword, but different variations of the keyword. So when everything fully kicks in, if you typed in, SEO expert near me or best SEO company or digital marketing company for SEO, any combination of those keywords, my business will pull up. And that's really the power behind not only SEO, but most importantly, Google Map listings. You want it to get to a point that anytime we type in a client's um, service, no matter what keyword we're typing in, they still pull up first. Because, like I explained in another video, when I talk about keyword research, ranking for one keyword is fine, but the real power is the LSI, the latent semantic indexing. When you rank, when you essentially you show up for every single variation of the keyword within the service. That way, no matter what, you're generating the most of the phone calls. So instead of just having one billboard on one street, you have a billboard on every single street in the city. You know, pretty much goes without saying you're going to get the majority of the business because while your competitors only occupy one street, you occupy them all. So just through the law of averages, you're going to generate more visibility for your client. So I'm going to pull this one down into a little bit more so you understand the context of what we're doing before we got to get into what we're doing. So um, basically with this, you can basically see that this has a DA of 78, PA of 36. Spam score for this is not really that big of a deal. Now, for me personally, this is just because I'm very, very picky. I would typically take this type of Web 2.0 and I would link it back um, to a tier one. So basically take something like this and then link it to something like this, then have this link go to my Google My Business or website or my client's page or anything like that. Just in case something happens with this, like say Google changes its algorithm and says anything above spam 40, we're gonna start penalizing it. Then I could break this link and it's not gonna affect my site. So, once again, most SEO specialists have no concept of what I'm essentially talking about right now, which is why once we kind of get this down, you essentially get this down to a workable level and it's replicatable for you, um, you're going to have a massive advantage over other people just because um, once again, this is very important to do if you're trying to develop Google Map listing authority for listings that have really no relevance yet in a decent amount of time. Like remember, we're trying to get them listed as soon as possible, as without as many hiccups with Google as possible. That way, client is essentially getting what they're looking for in a decent amount of time, which is better than the competitors. They're generating phone calls and visibility, and they're going to want to essentially keep paying us. So now that you have pretty much a context of all those things, an understanding of all those things, and why we're going to do it, I'm going to basically break down into the keywords and how I was able to find these keywords. Then I'm going to show you how to essentially set up Web 2.0. Very, very simple. It's not difficult to do, but understanding the why is very, very important, is more important. Knowing the how, once again, I can make a Web 2.0 in like 2 or 3 minutes. It's almost no work. But if you don't understand the why, then you're just not going to get it and you're going to be wasting your time. So, um, once again, I will essentially do one for, I'll just pick this niche called commercial cleaning. So yeah, basically I'm gonna go to my keyword research tool, let this populate. So I have commercial cleaning services. So I'm just going to do a combination of these. Now, I've kind of already done the keyword research already, but I'm just going to pull this up so you can see I did this. So if I did something for commercial cleaning companies, you see that this is just a broad keyword with no location modifier in it. That's just very broad. This is what we want. Now, you can take something like services cleaning, cleaning services. For me particularly, I try to make sure I have up to 3 to 4 keywords in the title of the Web 2.0. That way, it makes my life easier going forward. So cleaning services near me is a good one. Commercial cleaning services is a good one. Commercial cleaning services is a good one. You can just keep going down through the list. Commercial cleaning companies. This is a really good one. Actually, I'm gonna write this down. Commercial cleaning. We don't need that because you're essentially gonna do all that. Phoenix. Actually, I would just do Arizona commercial services. And typically with Web 2.0s, I tell you to do it for the whole state, not just for a city. Because if you do it for a city, that limits you. So say if I was creating a Web 2.0 called Phoenix Commercial Cleaning Services, that means now when I'm creating location pages in there, I can only target cities. I can really only target cities that are within Phoenix. I can't go really anything outside of it. It's not going to make sense to the search engine. But if I did Arizona commercial cleaning services, then I can create a sub page called Phoenix, and then I can create a sub page within that. Um, with say a suburb or something that's in Phoenix. So if I have a client that's in Phoenix, that's a commercial cleaning company, now and they're telling me that, hey, I want to rank in this zip code in the Phoenix area. Now that's very easy for me to do if I just do Arizona commercial cleaning services, because now I can just create a Web 2.0 Arizona commercial cleaning services. And let me kind of write this down so you can actually see it. So say if I did this, so it's called Arizona commercial services. And what's this Web 2.0 called? Dot web mode. Okay, so let's say dot web mode.com. Then essentially would be / and once again, say they were trying to get listed for a certain suburb in Phoenix. So I can do Phoenix / just to make this realistic. Let's go to Phoenix. Find one suburb that I can use. So yeah, perfect. Like say Levine Village. Say my client was literally their office is right in there, and they're trying to make sure that anytime someone is near Levine Village, their office pops up #1. So I would do something like this. This is exactly what I would do. So web mode is a Web 2.0. So like you created one of the Arizona Commercial Cleaning Services .webmode.com / Phoenix / Levine. Now, if I did Phoenix, then it's not going to make, none of this is going to make sense. I only have to be able to do it for Levine Village. Let's say if I wanted to show up for Scottsdale, it's not going to make sense. Scottsdale is a very, very large metro area that's just east of Phoenix. If you want to show up and rank pretty high there, it's not going to make sense for you to do it. So once again, if you just did Arizona, which is the smart way to go, then I can do Scottsdale and say if I really want to niche down and be like, I want to target an area in Scottsdale that my client wants, say they want to show up in downtown for commercial cleaning services, then I could just do this. So you see how I just made my life easy just by doing keyword research first and targeting a broad platform. That way I can niche down later. If you target a niche, it's very, very hard to niche down once you already have a really tight niche. But if you start broad, then you can niche down over time. Now, you have to take this with a grain of salt. 8 out of 10 times, I'm going to tell it to you to do this way. But say if you have a bunch of Web 2.0s that says something like Arizona Commercial Cleaning Services or Best Arizona Cleaning Services near me, you have like 8 or 9 of those. Then you can go and create one where you can niche down, or it's just like Best Sanitation Company in Phoenix or something like that. Once again, if that's something I feel you need to do, I'll let you know. But for the most part, you want to have the mindset that you want to start abroad. So, um, kind of going back to the keyword research, because I think you kind of will get it at this point. Um, don't need this, don't need this, largest commercial cleaning companies. So if I did something like sanitation service, or even virus. So like virus sanitation. So this is still a good one. I'm still going to pull this one. This is a very good one to have. So Virus Sanitation Service Arizona allows me to niche down. So coronavirus cleaning and disinfectant services. That's another good one to have. So I'll take that one down. Sanitize cleaning services, home sanitation information. That's all. That's all. That's all good. You know, you don't need to go anything more than that. So disinfectant service. Disinfectant services near me. So um, pretty much with this, I already have a pretty comprehensive list um, of stuff that I essentially want to run with. Stuff really quick. So this is essentially the keyword list that I found. So um, basically, I have a combination of these. Really, I don't really need to go with these. These are already good because this all has a combination of the keyword in it. So virus disinfection service. I'm just using Arizona as an example. Arizona Commercial Cleaning Services, Virus Sanitation Service, Arizona. Um, Commercial Cleaning and Disinfectant Services, coronavirus. So really, like, you see how simple this is. This isn't really not difficult. You're just finding broad keywords, and then oftentimes, like I said, I'll just take whatever the client's basic. So say if the client was a probate lawyer, I'm just going to type in the term probate lawyer and see what terms I get that are buying keywords. So oftentimes, if you see near me, near my location, best, top, most reviewed, those are all buying keywords. If someone is looking that up, that often means that they're ready to look for someone to solve that problem. Those are all the ones we want. Because if you have a Web 2.0 that states that, and it's has a decent amount of domain authority, it's built out very well, it's very well fleshed out, and it's linking back to your client's GMB, well, it's going to make that GMB rank much quicker. The quicker we get that thing ranking, the more phone calls they generate, the happier they are, the more they're going to want to keep paying us. So once again, I think I've already done a pretty decent job of explaining the context and the why of what we're doing. Um, that way, when I create the Web 2.0, it's going to make a whole lot of sense. So, um, for me personally, um, let's do, um, There's several different Web 2.0s. Literally, all you have to do is type in like Web 2.0 websites. And you just come up with a fat list right here. I mean, you have or sorry, Web 2.0 blog websites. I already have a list, but so perfect. You got like WordPress, SiteMe, KiwiBox, Tumblr, Strikingly, Yola site, myfreewebsite.com. I mean, you just type in Web 2.0 blog websites. You're gonna find like look at this. You got 150 plus um, high DA Web 2.0 site list. I mean, just use Google, use your common sense. You'll find a bunch of these. So for me, I am basically going to go to Blogger just because I've basically had a lot of success with them. Just give me one quick second. All right, perfect. So now that this is set up, so display name, I'm just going to use the term, and I'm going to create several ones for these, but I'm going to basically see which term works best because most of my clients. So a virus disinfecting service in Arizona, virus sanitation service in Arizona, commercial sanitation companies. So I would say that coronavirus cleaning and disinfecting services. Yeah, so I'll start with this one, fire sanitation service in Arizona. Let's go create blog. I just capitalize these just so it looks solid. So fire sanitation service in Arizona. Once again, I'm gonna use the term Arizona. That way I can niche this. And actually, you know what? I take that back. Apologize for that. Blogger is actually not that good at making additional pages. So actually, it's better just to use a root word for them. So I've actually used the term coronavirus cleaning. Commercial sanitation. So actually, let's use the term commercial sanitation companies near me. Something like WebNode would actually be better. So kind of going back to what I said, each Web 2.0 is different. Blogger doesn't allow, they do, but it's not that great. They can basically allow you to create additional pages, but Blogger's just not that good for that. So I'm just going to use the term commercial sanitizing company near me. That way I can talk about topics about commercial sanitation, all that stuff. So when I link back to my clients Web 2.0, it's going to make sense. So now that it's done, now I'm going to do this one more time. And I won't space this together. Okay. Is that still because of space? All right, there we go. So commercial sanitation companies near me. Commercial advertising companies near me. All right, perfect. So now I've essentially created our first Web 2.0. Perfect. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. I mean, that's just your username. It's not that big of a deal. So next thing that I basically am going to do after this um, is I'm basically going to create a Web 2.0 list where I'm going to keep all of my stuff together. So basically, I have a template. I just take this and basically just copy it. So I talked about this in another video, but you're pretty much going to have your tier ones, your tier twos, and then anything else below there. So I'm going to take this one, very, very simple, just follow the template. So there we go. Just put in the login details. I'll put in that later. So backup. Um, decision. Yeah, bad decision. So I actually duplicated this. I should have just file, make a copy, and then I'll call this commercial cleaning Web 2.0s. And then, like I said, I just use a basic keyword like commercial cleaning because within that, actually I can put in residential cleaning too as well because with commercial and residential, they're so close that if you put a client's information on there talking about residential cleaning, the search engine is not going to care that much as long as cleaning is basically in it. So put this in here now. Now, anytime I run into an additional client in the future who runs a cleaning business or commercial cleaning business, now I have an asset that can greatly benefit them going forward in the future. So rename it this. So now that all the information is good, like this, we'll take this, we'll put this in here. We're just going to take the keyword, we're going to put it in there. Services. this tier 1. Now with tier 2, you're just going to find the base word. Now within this, you have categories to everything. So like, sports is a category, and within that you have, like, say, football or soccer, and then within soccer you have American soccer, you have English soccer. I mean, I call it football, so it's called football. So English football, Indian football, Spanish football. Each, you have a basic category, then categories within that. So that's how I want you to think about tiers. So basically, with tier 1, we're going to take the bottommost category, and within this is commercial sanitation and virus cleaning. So tier 2 is just going to be cleaning services. Just so that way, when I create my second set of tiers, these ones will just be cleaning services, or best cleaning services, top cleaning services near my location. These ones will be more specific, like commercial sanitation companies near me, best virus cleaning company in Arizona, blah blah blah, stuff like that. So it's simple to get once you get it after a time. So that's done. That's done. That's done. And then last thing is I use this sheet to go after and find high level, essentially backlinks to go out there and get guest post opportunities for. So click this for cleaning services. And within that too, I'm also going to create one more tier, and we'll kind of wrap up this video because I know this is kind of a little bit long already, but this is very, very crucial. So, so I'll put third tier, and this is going to be like home improvement, because within cleaning services, it's basically home improvement. That way, all my home improvement Web 2.0s, I'll just essentially just populate on this page. These Web 2.0s will link to the cleaning services. The cleaning services will link to the commercial sanitation and virus cleaning. That way, I can develop a whole high-level authority and congruence from all my Web 2.0s. That way, when I link it to a client's GMB, not only is Google understanding that this is a home improvement business, which it is, or business improvement, that Google really considers it all the same. Not only is it a cleaning service, but it's also a commercial sanitation and virus cleaning. And on top of that, the keywords from each one of those Web 2.0s linking. So instead of me just creating one Web 2.0, just by creating, say, 3, and I link them all together, it's multiplying everything I do by 6 instead of just by 1. Now, that probably is not going to make sense right now, but the more that you practice this, you're going to understand this. So once again, this video has ran pretty long. I don't want to go anything more into it, but just kind of last thing to kind of wrap it up. Creating a Web 2.0 is very simple, very easy. I can do a lot now. It's very easy to do, but you want to understand the context of why we're doing it first. That way, when content is being created, when you essentially find the keyword for it, and you're optimizing the content, you are fully aware long-term these ramifications and how it's going to help the client, because it's no use just doing the work and not understanding why you're doing it. You're going to be prone to making a lot of mistakes if you think that way. But if you just understand why we're doing it first, then do the work, not only is the work going to be easier and faster to do, and you're going to be able to do more over a longer period of time, you're also going to be able to understand the context and the nuances and kind of get the ropes quicker than if you just did the work and I never explained why to do it. So once again, this is going to be Mark Anderson signing off, kind of explaining this video how to create Web 2.0s and how they essentially help client Google Map listings going forward. I will see you in the next video.